Jai Mata Di and Namaskaram. Welcome to Sadhana, the Inward Path, your gateway into Hinduism. On the show today, we meet Manoshi Sinha Rawal, an inspiring author who has dedicated her life to documenting India's authentic history. We also enjoy our signature offerings of conscious cooking, yoga for wellness, and the holy Tirukkural. During our recent travels in India, we met Manoshi Sinha Rawal, an intriguing young historian and author. As a child, Manoshi's dad related the tales of India's valor and bravery in protecting and preserving its Hindu dharma during the various invasions over time. As Manoshi grew older, she realized that India's documented history, which is mostly from a Western perspective, is not a true reflection of Bharat's history. She has since dedicated her life to traveling the length and breadth of the land to uncover India's hidden truths. We found out more when we visited her at her Delhi home.
I was in standard 6. We suddenly faced a financial crisis. Till that time, we were brought up in luxury, and we were studying, 4 of our siblings were studying in the best school in the town. And my father, who was a businessman, a lucrative businessman, he met with a severe accident, and he was bedridden for 5 long years. And my mother studied till class 10. She had not even cleared the matriculation exams. And when we faced the financial crisis, my mother thought and she pledged that she would let her children continue their studies in the same best school. And she also pledged never to borrow money from others, and she decided to earn. Initially, she started with a small tea stall in the open near the college and the revenue office near our home. And gradually, after 6-7 months, he started with a shed, and then gradually, another 1 or 2 years, it became a full-fledged restaurant. And I was in standard 6, I was good in studies, and I started teaching students when I was in class 6. So early in the morning, before going to school, I used to visit 2-3 homes, and then after coming back from school, again, I visited 3-4 more homes to teach kids, primary level students. And by the time I reached class 10, I had around 45 students. The problems that we faced never bothered us. We faced all the challenges at ease, and we learned this patience and perseverance from my mother. And my father, though he was bedridden, and he continued telling us stories of valor and narrating stories from our Hindu scriptures from his bed. Initially, I started my career as an astrologer as well as a teacher in a college. After that, I came to Delhi. That was in the year 2003. And in Delhi, I started my career as a trainee editor because I wanted to be in the field of writing, and there was very little scope for writers in that part of Assam where I belong, where I hail from.
This project took shape in our minds when we visited a few temples. And we saw the destruction which was being done by the plunderers and the invaders throughout the ages. Then the question came to our mind, were we always defeated? So we decided to do some research on this subject, and we came across several names all throughout India. There were people, there were warriors who had given a very stiff resistance to invaders and had won many battles also. But unfortunately, or due to some reasons, these people were not covered in our history books. So we decided to come up with a book, or to be precise, a series of articles on such people. Then in a span of few years, this all took shape and it all came out in this book.
So my research started around 11 years ago. I was earning very lucratively, and through devoting around 8 to 10 hours in my career. Simultaneously, I was doing research on Indian history. That required more time, and then I realized that if I devote more time into the earning thing, then I won't be able to devote time in the research. All of our research till date have been all self-funded, and my husband Yogaditya Singh Rawal, he is a national level competitive bodybuilder. He was Mr. India 2016 under Federation Cup bodybuilding. He is a certified fitness trainer and nutrition consultant. He runs a gym in Delhi. So whatever he earns, the savings that he has, he all spends on the research for our historical visits. I have written the book Saffron Swords, and part of the research is also literary. I studied academic papers, I read books by Indian as well as foreign historians, then I read academic papers, and we also we listened to historical folklore. We visited places, and we visited families whose ancestors served at the royal court of kings during those times. I founded this e-magazine called myindiamyglory.com, and today there are around 65 researchers associated with the website, and we publish everything pertaining to Bharat right from the ancient to present, with special focus on history and heritage. This is Baramasa, painting of seasons. You have to put it back again. This is about Khajuraho. This is about the Srimad Bhagavatam. It's about the Khajuraho. Not many books. Of all the armors that our warrior ancestors used. This is again a very precious book, it's very heavy. It is about the wall paintings of Rajasthan. This is paintings of all the warriors from Rajasthan, with description about the historicity and the description about the paintings. Paintings of forts and all. It's too heavy. Our historical dates have been imposed on us by the West, and few of our secular historians, or we can say left liberal historians, or whatever coinage we want to name, we want to give. So according to the distorted version of our historical dates, the Mauryas flourished around say 300 BCE. But according to our own epigraphical records, inscriptional evidences, literary evidences, Puranas, and according to one book, The Chronology of Ancient India by Sri Vedveer Arya, the Mauryas flourished around 1500 BCE, 1500 to 1600 BCE. So there is a huge difference of some 1000 to 1500 years. I came across the Bhimbetka caves. There are 750 rock shelters spread across 10 kilometers. And there have been traces of human habitation and paintings in the caves that date back from around 4000 years to 1 lakh years. And I came across a painting of Nataraja in cave number 10 in the Bhimbetka caves premise, and the painting of Nataraja dates back to Mesolithic era. It has been carbon dated, and the Mesolithic era dates back to over 20,000 years. So Shiva, Nataraja was worshipped 20,000 years ago. 3 generations of our people have grown up reading about only the one-sided narrative, only about the distorted versions. They did not get to read about our glory, because hundreds and thousands of our warrior ancestors, they offered resistance, they won battles, they fought till their last breath, first against Islamic invaders, plunderers, and then later the British.
We have covered almost whole of North India, and we have many more projects in pipeline right now, many more destinations and many more such warriors which we Indians have never even heard about.
In most of the places where I deliver a talk, I ask them a few questions. Like I would ask them, do you know about Muhammad Ghori? Everyone would say yes. Do you know about Akbar? Everyone would say big yes. Babur, Aurangzeb, Robert Clive, Lord Curzon, Lord Mountbatten, Lord Dalhousie. And there would be an affirmative answer. So when I asked them about who Raja Prithu is, no one could answer. When I asked them about who Kuili is, no one could answer. I asked them about who Kapaya Nayaka is, no one could answer. And then they were surprised, and at the same time they felt very proud that yes, our ancestors did fight for us. It is because the resistance offered by our ancestors that we are here today. Because despite 1300 years of loot, plunder, invasion and rule, we comprise around 70 to 80% of the population of the country. And how did it happen? It is because our warrior ancestors offered resistance and fought and saved our great-great-great grandparents.